Welcome to Fuel Your Drive.
Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Fuel Your Drive. I am your host, Josh Rourke. We have another incredible episode in store for you today. But before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. I don't advertise, I don't charge to listen to the show. I'm asking, the only fee you pay is leave a review. Please help me continue to keep growing the podcast. So a rating, review, telling a friend would mean the absolute world to me. So thank you. Let's get rocking and rolling. Today's topic is why refusing to own up to business mistakes is one of the fastest paths to being, not successful and failing. Every business that's ever gone under didn't die from the mistake. It died from what happened in the 90 days after, and, no one ever takes ownership to what they've done when it's not going right. And I really want to touch on this before, because every business makes mistakes constantly, okay, including myself. Bad hires, maybe a pricing problem, bad inventory, making a bad call on inventory, bad marketing. Mistakes are a tax on doing anything at all. And the business that survives are the ones that avoid mistakes. But they're also the ones that catch them fast and acknowledge them, say them out loud, share it with their team, but also be honest with themselves. A lot of people, especially in the franchise world, and I'm not speaking to the gym guys, I'm speaking to all of franchising. People think they have a better way. It's a franchise for a reason, so you got to follow the system. That's the most important thing. But like a $10,000 mistake caught in 1 week, it cost you $10,000, but that same mistake hidden for 6 months to a year, that continues to compound into all other areas of your business. So the line to hit, right, is denial doesn't freeze the damage. It lets it compound. And at some point, it's just going to explode and blow up. So look, if you're running a business right now, whether it's your own business, whether it's a franchise business, let me tell you something right now. The most successful franchise owners are the ones who are engaged, the ones who show up, the ones who are present, the ones who listen, and the ones who understand they don't have all the answers, because no one has all the answers, including myself. You want to keep growing. You want to keep getting better, but you also have to understand when you're making mistakes, it's going to cost you. And that's okay, because, 2-3 steps back takes you 7, 8, 9, 10 steps forward. Right. So, look, let's kind of talk. And, 'cause I brought up this subject for a reason. I got a message on Instagram, and honestly, like, the majority of the messages I get are people constantly complaining and saying, like, there's a reason someone created this problem. Listen, I'm telling you, and I talked about this before, 99% of the time, the problem is yourself, because you got to really look at yourself in the mirror and honestly ask yourself, am I really taking action every day in my business? Am I really doing things that are moving the business forward? Am I really, utilizing my time? Am I efficient with my time? Am I delegating in areas that I'm not strong in, right? Everyone loves to focus on everything. You cannot grow and scale a business by focusing on everything. You need to have other people in those appropriate departments to continue to help scale and grow your business. So you have to remember that. But this one person reached out to me, said they were running a business. And it was actually a franchise business, and their franchisor misled them and said to them that, during the onboarding and sales process, they told them that they would have these certain type of accounts, and they don't have the accounts. So I said, okay, why don't you have the accounts? They said, well, corporate never gave them to us. I was like, well, are they national accounts? He said, no, they're not national accounts, but other franchisees have some of these accounts. So I said, well, did you reach out to the other franchisees and find out the contacts so you can get into touch with these other accounts? So find out who that main point of contact is and let them know you're now open. He's like, no, I haven't done that. I said, okay, why? He's like, oh, that's a good point. I said, but let me just ask you a question. Let me just stop for a second. I said, why are you blaming the franchisor? Like, here's the thing. And I know what we do in our franchise system. We provide probably too much support. I like to really provide a lot of support, but maybe it's too much. But some franchises give you the system, give you the tools, give you the technology, and they don't provide much support at all. But at the end of the day, it's still up to you. Like, you have all the tools and everything you need, which literally just bypassed probably years of just trying to figure things out, but you still have to act on it. Sitting around waiting for someone to come save you and help you is not going to happen, because I promise you, no one's coming to save you, my friend. And that's what I said to him. So he's like, it's funny. I was actually, you know, really angry with corporate, and, speaking to you really made me change my opinion on that. So thank you. So I'm not going to say the brand, but, I'm sure they're very happy that, that's one less headache that they're dealing with right now. But, look, the business owners that, say these things out loud, they flip the frame, they understand what ownership actually looks like during, when it's happening, right? First, plain language emission, right? We got this wrong. Here's what we're going to be doing about it. And you're sharing it to the team, to a customer, a bank, a partner, a vendor, whoever it is, right? Speed over polish. A rough correction made in a week, or in like week 2, beats a polished plan made in month 8, right? So make sure you're acting, right? Success loves speed, and you need to be fast with, whether it's fixing an issue or, taking care of something that's going to grow your business. You got to act in a fast manner, and owning it publicly rebuilds trust faster than people expect. And I will promise you this: if you're down, you better say you're down. If you're up, yeah, you could talk about it. But at the end of this day, like most stakeholders and companies don't leave because of the mistakes. They leave because they stopped. They were stopped getting told what the truth was. Right? There's no honesty there. You have to have that level of commitment from your team members. It's very important. And talk about the compounding trust effect. Right? Teams and partners who watch a leader often own a mistake become more loyal, not less. So remember that, because they know they'll get the truth next time. And and sometimes, it can be in a situation where it's embarrassing. I understand. I've been there many times. I made lots of mistakes. I always own up to them. And sometimes, I remember one time in particular, it was a pretty big mistake, and I was really embarrassed that I was sharing it, but it had to be done, and I had to be honest with the team, so they understood. And after I got it off my chest, I was like, oh, that wasn't so bad, and it isn't so bad. So make sure you're doing that. But look, at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is you have to just understand. So I like to kind of go through this and break this down in like a playbook, right? So name a mistake in one sentence, say it out loud, okay? And first, say it out loud to yourself. You don't have to say it to the whole company, right? Say it out loud and make sure you understand, okay, this is the mistake. Now, how am I going to address the team about it, right? Then separate the decision from your identity. You made a bad call, right? No, not I'm bad at this. You made a mistake. Mistakes happen. That's how you learn. The problem is most people don't learn from some of their mistakes, and they make them 2, 3, 4 times. And look, you want to make a mistake once, fine. Do not make a mistake twice. Okay. Next, bring the bad news and plan in the same breath. People can handle problems. They can't handle problems with no plan attached. I like to always say I'm the ultimate problem solver, and I'm already thinking about how to solve the problem before I'm bringing it to anybody. So come with a plan, and if it's a really, really hard situation, then yeah, get your team involved and be like, listen, I'm trying to figure out what we need to do here. I need everyone's help. And you have to set a deadline. That is the number one most important thing. What we like to say here is who will do what by when? Who will do what by when? If you do not have that, tons of people have meetings, tons of people talk about things, tons of people love to just talk, but there's no like, we're going to get this done by next Tuesday at noon. And who's leading it? Is there anyone that needs to be involved in this, along with this person? So this one's taking it, this one's supporting it. This is how we're getting it done. You have to have that plan. Super, super important. And the last thing is track the cost of what it would look like if you're waiting. Because just like I say, time kills deals. You will lose money by not fixing your mistakes and sitting there and procrastinating. Remember what I said before. Success loves speed all day, every single day. All right. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Short and sweet. I got to get rocking and rolling. Have a great day. Until next time, remember to fuel your drive. See ya.
Legend. Do you know my name? My name is Legend.